Bittensor family? It's Jeremy, aka School of Crypto, giving you another Bittensor video. So I was just kind of hanging out this morning, spending time with the family, and then all of a sudden I was looking on X and I saw that genomes.io was doing a spaces, and so I just decided to tune in just to kind of listen in on what they were talking about. And I took a lot of notes and was just really blown away by the mission statement, the team, the problem they were trying to solve in the health industry, in the drug discovery field. So I did a whole summary of the whole spaces. I posted it on X, and I figured I'd tell you guys about it. So genomes.io, basically what they're doing is trying to tackle some main core issues in the healthcare data sector, and that's data security, accessibility to that data, and just research overall. Going into the security aspect of it, in 2023, there were 133 million patient records that was stolen and hacked. And then the following year, in 2024, there was 188 million data records stolen from patients. So, and then this year in 2025, it's projected to be even more. So the whole data security aspect of the healthcare industry is totally broken, and it's bound to, really lead to some big issues in terms of hackers manipulating that data and using it for nefarious reasons. So what Genomes.io is trying to do is just building a safe, secure, equitable way to secure this healthcare data and genome data at scale. So, in terms of what the pharmaceutical companies need in order to do research and try to, create these mechanisms to figure out which drugs can, solve issues like, certain types of blood thinners or certain types of, diseases out there. They need, millions upon millions of data points in terms of genomic data in order to solve for these types of issues. And as of today, this has been almost impossible to procure and get their hands on this type of data in a secure and safe way. So, and then also, from companies like 23andMe that, have DNA genomic data from people who want to know where their ancestors were from and all that type of stuff, they gatekeep a lot of that data and basically choose which data gets to be analyzed and which ones don't. So, the genomes.io, they're trying to kind of bring the data back to the people's hands and be able to, create an open environment in which you can analyze this data and then figure out, more things in the drug discovery field. So genomes.io is doing this really interesting approach where they're kind of creating this synthetic genomic data. So basically what that means is that, their whole infrastructure in terms of what their subnet's going to be is to have their miners be able to create a whole simulation with genomic data and being able to run bunches of simulations and kind of being built on top of these simulations and running multiple ones at the same time. And then they're going to be able to create hundreds of thousands, millions of data points in order to best facilitate communications with the pharmaceutical companies and either confirm or deny their theses on which genomic data can measure to which drugs in the field. So, this is like a really inspiring innovation in terms of being able to, create more information in a field that is much needed, and be able to, have more attempts to, discover certain drugs and be able to, help people around the world. And, like, it's not a one size fits all approach. There's basically, people in certain demographics that react differently to different types of drugs. So being able to put that into context in terms of, which types of genomics work best for certain demographics, they're able to kind of put that all together and ultimately, figure out a way to see which types of drugs can help which demographics throughout the world. So it's a really impressive team too. Like, they have somebody on the staff that has a PhD in stem cell biology. The CEO was on the call, and he's been with the team since 2018, and really passionate and really spoke with a lot of conviction in terms of what their mission statement was and how this could be game changing in the industry and just like help and save a lot of people throughout the world. They're backed by Pantera and Modular Capital, so they have some backing, and they're set to come out with their subnet next week, and they're gonna kind of announce what the structures like with the miners and the validators and just how everything's going to operate. Just on a side note, like, I noticed that they had a token on base, so I know some of the community kind of don't understand the the dual token type of thing when you have one token on one blockchain and one on the other, but so that's something I may need to look into. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out which subnet it is exactly, but you can go to their Twitter page. It's just a genomes.io, and I'll put a link in the description down below. But it's just like with drug discovery and just the whole process of trying to develop a drug that can ultimately be approved and ultimately be able to go public and everything. It's like the least cost efficient operation you could ever imagine. They're spending millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars just trying to test these things out, even before they're able to come out with a product. And what this subnet is going to do is just like kind of expedite the process, make it more efficient, make it cheaper, and ultimately be able to have better, more game-changing discoveries than you would otherwise. So this is ultimately could be a real impactful subnet that can change lives and again save people's lives and be able to just be a trailblazer in the drug discovery industry. So I figured I would kind of let you guys know about this. This is my first time kind of learning about this subnet, so I was just kind of giving you my discoveries and just the information that I gathered today, and I'll be kind of following up with this stuff and trying to learn more about it. But definitely read some more about it down below. I'll put a link of the summary that I did, and then it'll have the information of the genomes.io subnet team and everything. And so what do you guys think? Do you think that this is like a game changer? Like, what do you think? It's like kind of a flash in the pan? Like, is it a little too ambitious? Is this something that they might not be able to follow through with? Or let me know what you think down below, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.